Good. How's Austin? How's the weather out there?
It's actually about to storm. We have these supercells that come in Texas, like tornado warnings and stuff like that. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah?
this is the time when the supercells. So it's like lightning storms, and it's really fun and exciting. But
Like springtime?
it's like springtime, yeah.
So
But yeah,
tornadoes.
it's beautiful flowers and things. But the allergies here are terrible, and I've heard that before. But
Are you originally from Austin?
no, I've been here for about 20 years, but I am a Texas girl. I'm from Beaumont, Texas, and used to talk like that and everything. Every time I go hang out with my family or I bring my husband, he's like, "Hey, Erin, why are we talking like this?" I have that country Texan blood in me. So yeah, I'm Texan.
Nice. How did you get involved in like massage and yoga and movement? What was that?
I feel like my passion has always been creativity through movement. I started as a ballet dancer, well, when I was four. So my passion was for movement, was for ballet, and I was in point and all that. And then I picked it up. I think just
So you
being
did
interested
ballet
in
when
that.
you were a kid?
Yes, from 4 to 14, I was in ballet,
Wow.
tap, jazz, all the things, gymnastics. I could do flips and all the things.
Wow.
But point, like on the toe, ballet was
Yeah.
like really what I really loved. And I kind of wanted to make a career out of it, but it's that's a hard life. Being a dancer is a lot. But yeah, so I think when I found yoga, I kind of picked up my interest in movement. And so I was gonna go one of two different ways. Like, should I do yoga or fitness first? So I wanted to go both ways, but I picked yoga first, and then that led me to ESIC, but it led me to fitness eventually. But because of my interest, so much interest in kinesiology and anatomy and the body, it led me to massage. And so I guess I realized my passion for healing or movement or yeah, through movement in general in the body and my just my interests in learning about the body. So massage school, after massage school, then I'm at ESIC. I know ESIC. I'm like,
What
oh,
do you like about massage? What
okay.
uh gets you like, man, I love this. I love helping people. I love doing this.
I feel like I have this intuitive knowledge and understanding I can see with my fingers.
Mm,
But it's kind of, I realized once I started doing it, I do really deep tissue massage, not the massage you get into a spa where you pay extra money for deep tissue and they don't give that to you. No, again, but I feel like I have an intuition of feeling and learning um, um, through, through the body and people's mechanics. And after I train and do yoga and sit and understand um, based on how people live their lives, understand by me doing it where the problematic areas are and how to connect with those areas. And so as I do more massage and as I work on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, I recognize the same kind of things that come up in athletes or come up in people that sit at computers or come up in runners. So I just it actually feeds my intuition. I get better and better and better at it. But I don't know. I'm drawn to it. I feel very intuitive about it, and I'm just great. I'm just great at it. I don't know. It's just I think it was my life
mm.
calling.
What
I love
what
it.
made you like take that jump, right? Like, because how long is massage school?
It's 500 hours. So, yoga school is 200 hours, and then you can get the 300 hours on top of that, which I have.
Mm.
But I did it instead of a year, I did it in half a year. So it was a lot of knowledge in a very short period of time. So it was a lot. I wanted to get through it very quickly.
How
And
did you know though that this is what you wanted to do? Like, what was the
I don't
thing?
know. I think I gave somebody a massage when I was younger, and then I kind of felt like I'm really good at this. Like I feel like a connection or an intuition about this. But just learning about the body, and then being able to actually put hands on people, I just felt like I've done it before. I felt like it's just a natural calling for me. It's just even like the depth of learning um, the muscles, every muscle, and it's very intense. 500 hours, like where it starts, where Aaron's like the very detailed names of everything that you have to learn. I honestly wish I would have spent a little bit longer time to absorb the information than I did it so quickly. But it's an ongoing process. I'm always continuing my education in massage. But
That,
yeah,
that that's for sure, right? With all the movement stuff and understanding the breath and the movement, right? The
right.
body mechanics.
And,
Um,
and there's different. Sorry, there's different kinds of massage too. I was like, I do deep tissue. Then I'm really interested in getting an Thai massage. Then there's assisted stretching. All kinds of things that you can
yeah.
learn based on
We
that.
we do that like assisted stretching
Mhm.
here. We have a place next door to the gym called Revive, right? And we
Yeah,
assisted stretching, and I love it because I went to all these fascia. I went to this fascia what was it conference in Berlin like some years back, and I kept meeting all these people in these different courses that kept talking about this stretch to win thing, fascial stretch therapy, like this assisted stretching. This lady and her husband, well, this lady was Anne Frederick, right? She started developing it. But I love the way I feel too after I do it to people. Like I kind of get stretched out too. And so like I get happy, right? Helping people like maybe be out of pain or feel better, right? Um,
right. Sometimes I like to call it lazy person yoga, but not really. I mean, it's different when you're stretching yourself versus somebody else and you're relaxed and you're relaxed and your body and your nervous system allows you to go a little bit deeper versus you doing it and your nervous system. It's a very different thing if you're
it's
stretching to
interesting.
somebody else stretching you. It's a very different
That's interesting.
sensation.
Lazy person's yoga because
Lazy person yoga.
like sometimes you don't feel like stretching, right? Because it's work, right? You just feel like
Well,
laying there.
exactly. And that's what I love about my job is like, people, they know that they need to do it, but I mean, do they actually do it or do they know what to do or how to do it? I
Right.
mean, they know that they're sore, they know that they should. That's where I come in. I'm like, let me guide you and show you. And also, it's not going to be boring. Let's make it into like a sequence and, something that will challenge you and have
Nice.
after recovery. Just kind of like the whole
Nice.
system of flow fit, that
Yeah.
whole idea of that
Yeah.
active recovery.
That's it. That's it.
Mhm.
So how do you connect the massage therapy to the movement, the flow fit, the flows?
Right. So, it is important for people, especially when they overtrain or they use, they sit at computers and they don't do the mobility and the compensation. Massage is not just going to do it. I mean, yes, I will hands-on massage is one thing, but it is a practice of being able, I give my clients things that they need to be doing every day for mobility and every just to stretch and open up their shoulders. Like I give them kind of homework to do. But like, I think that the majority of the population really like need because they don't have the knowledge or know how to do these things. But like, if you want longevity in life and whatever you're doing, you need to learn how to move or like how to um, you know, sustain whatever you're doing, especially if you're doing heavy lifting. It's very important to have a recovery day or active recovery day. So, I love that it's a combination of the two. You can't have one without the
Like
other.
like like Tackle has the 4-day wave, 4 and 7 day wave, right?
Mhm.
And so
Right? Exactly.
you've been focusing on right the no and low kind of days, right, with your work.
Right. And I feel like also with massage, like people come to me and they're like way beyond, or they've had injuries, or like they're just way too beyond. They haven't been stretching, they haven't been moving, and so I can help them get to a point where it's sustainable. But if they just keep going back and doing the same thing over and over again, I miss continues to have a client. But if they actively, put work into finding movement and stretching, releasing tension, and finding mobility and ranges of their joints and they actively do it every day, then my job isn't needed anymore. A lot of times, like, I lose clients because they're like, I'm good. Like, they'll come every week and then every other week and then once a month. And, they learn how to sustain their body through movement based on their lifestyle.
That's interesting. That's great. Like Scott says that, if you do a good job, like if you're really caring, you really want the best for your client, right? Your student client, you teach them how to do it themselves, right? To be able
Exactly.
to help themselves and be, that's why I love the TACFIT gyms, the group classes, because it's not just, of course you can do it on your own, But when you're in a group, like for me, because from martial arts, right, I always came up with that. I just feel like it really brings out the best in you, and you become friends, and then it keeps you accountable, and you kind of like never stop because of that
Right.
group environment.
Totally. And then, as we get older, because, we're getting there, people break down. I work with people that do jujitsu or people that, do way too much weight training and overtrain and
Overtraining.
don't implement what we do in TACFIT, the no and lows. And something tears, something breaks, an injury. And when you have an injury, it takes a really long time for the body to heal from that injury. And it's going to affect you for the rest of your life. So why not be proactive about it, about what you're doing or whatever you're sustaining,
Yeah.
and make this, a part of your regimen of your daily life.
Right. Right. Yeah. The other day we talked about, uh, what did we talk about? About what we were just talking about. I was I forgot where the
With me and you,
yeah, we were talking about oh my God, totally. I'll get back to it. I'll forget, I'll remember.
it
But
happens. We're human.
uh well, I'll get back to it. What were we just talking about just now?
I got you. We're just talking about how massage and the no and low, the mobility and the movement kind of, how they go
Intersects.
hand in hand, like how, what the difference is and how they're both needed, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And we're
Oh
talking
yeah,
about how
I was
like
gonna ask you about
massage.
the under people not people that we're talking about all these athletes and people that overuse, disuse it. But how about like people don't use like we all sit down too much, right? It's like that's like our biggest uh kind of enemy in a way, our biggest pandemic, right? If of people we all sit down too much, like we're on the computer, we all just sit down too much, Yeah, exactly. Have our necks down,
It's
right?
happening. I see my stepson. He like literally. I'm like, why? You're gonna look like that when you're old. But that's what we do as we get older. We
Mhm.
start and we kind of just bring it, and it's everything's forward, right? So,
Right.
and when I teach, yoga and everything, it's really kind of opening up the front line because everything
Mhm.
we do is like we're driving, texting on the computers. And so things are happening when when you sit for long periods of time, muscles shorten. So if you sit, your hamstrings get shorter, your hip flexors get shorter, and then your shoulders start to hunch forward. So these muscles shorten, and then these muscles back here are they're trying to pull the scapula back where they're supposed to go, and it just creates so much problem. And everything is connected.
Right.
Everything is connected.
We're a big old tent integrity model, like with a big old bunch of rubber bands like connecting us, right?
It is. It really
Yeah.
is. And when I work on people, they'll have like this my hips, and it's like, oh, my hips are good now. Now my like I have calf stuff, going on. So like, the pain sensory, because you only can sense a certain amount of pain and everything. So once that goes, it goes to the next biggest thing or the next line of tension or the next thing that, is connected to that. So yeah, when I work on my clients and in massage, it's like we're kind of moving down the chain of the tension,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you can't just rely on just hands-on massage. You really do need to move. And I have talked to so many of my clients that don't even understand what mobility is. They don't even know. They're like, well, I have to move my joint complexes. What? Like to be able to have range of motion through your joints in life. I mean, the more you move through each of the joint complexes, the more it creates synovial fluid, which is kind of like oil for you to
Yeah.
glide on through life. And then if you're heavy lifting, eventually you're going to be in pain. I've had so many clients. I'm like, did you do heavy deadlift again? I'm like, okay, you did it again. Obviously, I know what's going on. You keep doing the same old thing. And I can't, I mean, I'm just going to continue. I'll do the same thing I do, but I'm just going to keep you to that level. You're not progressing and evolving and going past this level of pain and being stuck,
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it really is. People I've seen over and over again, heavy lifters, and nothing against that, but they do not decompress and they do not release that tension in any way. You are going to break down eventually. You are
Yeah.
going to be walking around in pain at some point.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
about longevity of life.
You gotta change, like you said, change the oil, right? You gotta move that synovial fluid and change out the
Yeah, yeah.
synovial fluid and
Oil your joints.
ground substance,
Put
right?
oil in your car.
Yeah, yeah,
But literally, this is your body. This is your temple. This is the only place you have to live. So, doing everything you can to prevent that with the food that you eat, the way that you move, the way that you release, and even the thoughts that you think and the words that you speak. I mean, all of it connected together. But mainly, it's the body is it's a hard place to be in sometimes,
yeah.
especially when we get to our age. It's
Yeah. I mean, it's talk about the fountain of youth, but like all these things keep your mobility, right? You can be, 50 years old, you can be 20 years old, but if you lack mobility, you know, I mean, at 20 years old, like you're not just 20, you're much older than your age, right? Your biological age, but maybe somebody 60 or even 70, if they're totally mobile and they can move, like they're biologically a lot better, right? When you go to the like a senior home, you see like, they're so stiff, right? You get stiffer and stiffer and stiffer,
yes.
right? The
I
hunched over,
mean,
exactly, or the posture and all that. They're basically stuck in those positions from gravity, from habit, right? From thoughts
mhm.
as well, right?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, if you don't start early, it's really hard to undo, years and years and years of tension and pain and lack of mobility, it's important. So if you really care about yourself and care about your body and want to have a long, uh, you know, f- freedom to move for the rest of
a
your life,
healthy a healthy a
then you have to
healthy
be
good life,
proactive.
right? Yeah, yeah. Like you're talking about the shortening of the muscles, right? Like with our necks down and all those things, like your muscles are flexing, right? Your muscles are flexing by, say, shortening, and so like you're getting pulled in one way and then the other stuff is getting, right, it's like
Yeah, it's
not
activating to pull it back in the weight. And so I
right.
wanted to, just so everybody knows, just even just the neck thing, people don't realize, just like you're sticking your head out and down, how
Mhm.
heavy your head is. And so these muscles, so thinking just in the simple, just the head and the neck, if you have neck issues, maybe be more aware of how you're holding your neck. So
You just had a
pull
Jerry
the neck
Maguire
back
moment.
and bring it in and aligning your head over your spine where it supports the weight versus like it's here and all these muscles are straining to be this. And so it creates a lot of problems in the neck and then it moves to the shoulders and it's all connected again. So
Yeah,
it's also becoming body aware. Like that's another thing I love about what I do. It's like, and also what I like to show and help people understand about their body. Like when I give them massage, when I give people massages, I like to kind of like talk about like, okay, this is what's going on in your body because you probably don't know. Lots of people don't understand that if they don't study it. But this is what you should think about, with your head or your posture, or your shoulders or your hips, and we always kind of figure out what the problem is. Like I'm like, do you sleep on your side or do you sleep on your stomach? Because people sleep on their stomach, their neck is just always constantly. So we always find the problematic area of what is happening or what they're doing consistently that kind of is creating the problem, right? And so once you can find the problem of what you're doing, that's we're asymmetrical. So obviously we stand a certain way, or even just me, the way I get out of my car all the time, the way I massage, it creates it's unbalance in the body. So once you become aware of what it is and the problematic things that you're doing, you can correct them. You know, I think that's the fun thing about it. What I love to help people understand about their bodies.
yeah, that's it. That's it. You started with the head, how much the head weighs, right? And I
Yeah.
said Jerry Maguire memory. Remember the movie Jerry Maguire, where
Wyes.
the little kid's like, did you know that the average head weighs 8 pounds, something like that, right?
Yeah. It's big. It's a big thing.
But yeah,
But
it's habits, right? And how much everything weighs and how we're, habits, right? That we have that keep us pulled in those positions, and then sooner or later you're gonna have issues, right, where you can't even move in those directions.
right. And
Mm.
also I want to make a point of how stress and even
Mm.
like we hold trauma even in our bodies. We hold trauma, we hold stress, we hold emotion that hasn't been moved through. We hold it somewhere. Some people, walk around with their shoulders shrugged and they don't even realize that they're tensing up so much.
Mm.
There's people that do in their neck or everybody stores that trauma or that tension or stress in places. And so I'm also a very advocate of like of I'm a very I'm a very emotional person, so I move fluidly through emotion. And get on with life, versus holding it in, pulling in. And I really think it has a huge effect on what is going on in people's bodies. Like my dad, for example, his
Mm.
circulation through his blood, he's not a very much person. He doesn't really speak himself. And, he lost a leg. He got his leg amputated and, just from his life lessons. And I wish that I could have gotten to him earlier. I wish I would have learned these things earlier so I could help mobilize and help, just help him early at an early age because it's too late now. So he's getting to that age. So
Keeping everything connected, right, within in the body, and so it stays, right? If you don't, like you said, if you don't move it, you lose it. Those
yeah,
habits.
it's
Yeah,
true. It's
yeah.
true.
I lost my dad this last year too, and I
Oh,
feel
that's right. That's
wish
right.
he
I
could
remember
have,
that.
wish he could have gone on things earlier because he was definitely um, couldn't move, like less and less and less, and it's a slippery slope, right? Once you start going
Right.
downhill.
Well, I think our lifespan, our lifetime is going longer than it used to, right? Several many years. But at the same time, we have new kinds of cancers and all kinds of things that didn't exist before as well. But I mean, that's also part of the things we ingest and inhale or, putting poison in our bodies,
The food, right? The
it
food,
will have an effect on your body. So
the
whether,
food, yeah. And just like you said, stress, right? Or stresses letting that get the best of us.
Mhm.
You
And it's
know,
all perception, there's so much the mind can do that you can get lost in. And it's just a perception of being able to have awareness and control over the mind, what you speak, what you do, and what you put in your body and how you treat your body. And, just for me, it's like I've met massage therapists that don't ever get massages. Like if you were to provide people with the, health and care and of that, then you need to also take care of yourself as well. You need to also be that for
mhm.
yourself to be able to give that to other people. So
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. All right, let's get to your new program, Free to Move for Life.
free to move for life. I love that. And Issa kind of helped me with that. But that's exactly what it is. And it's been since with all the things I've learned through yoga, massage, through TACFIT, through Viking Ninja, creating Still Mace Yoga, all of it kind of combined. But you know, I've been wanting to put a program together for a really long time because my clients ask for it. People love it. When I do the no and lows with TACFIT all the time, they're like, "Hey, do you have that recording? I would love to like learn more about like that mobility thing you did, and the compensation." And I think it's something that's not really well known. Like I said, with mobility, people don't really understand mobility. They know how to stretch. They go to yoga or whatever. But I mean, if people don't really have a really huge body awareness, then they don't know what to do for themselves. So I liked how the program is designed because, yeah, we have our interflows and we have our competition. We have all the tech fit things, but it's kind of like what I've learned, but putting a little bit of my spin on it too, and also creating a fun flow sequencing to use as well. But the greatest thing about the program is that it's designed specifically for people, for your lifestyle, the way that people live, and also um, the problematic areas in your body. For example, people, like we said, sit at the desk all day. Of course, I'm gonna help them lengthen out their hip flexors and open up their shoulders. And so the program will tell you this is what you should do before you sit down all day. This is what you should do in the middle of
Oh,
the
that's
day
great.
to move around, and then this is how you would compensate for it. And so, with all different categories and all those like specific things going on in your body, lots of people have lower back pain. They don't realize where that stems from. I understand it. A lot of it comes from the hamstrings. A lot of it comes from sitting. I mean, so just based on the experience and things I've hands on, being able to work on people and being able to see and train people and see that in their bodies, I kind of just developed a program that is, has, I think I counted 73. I made 73 different exercises of mobility and compensation.
Wow.
It's a lot. So,
Wow.
there's a demo video and instructional video of each one of those. And so you
Wow.
can just use those on your own or whatever, or you can pick and choose of like, oh, this is what's going on with me. My battery's about to go dead. And I can use this program specifically for me and the way that I live or whatever it is. So mobility, standing joint mobility, and closed chain mobility, and also being able to put that into like a kind of a fun flow sequence. And Victoria Wright from Wales, also, she's the one that really kind of we kind of worked together on this, and so you'll see her in the mobility exercises and the follow alongs as well.
Nice. How did that
Mobility,
happen?
compensation, and then both of them together in a sequence based on what you need in your life.
Nice. How did that happen with Victoria? How did that come about?
Well, I think the one Isak kind of hooked that up, and we connected and we started talking, and she also has a passion for recovery. Um, so I forgot to bring my charger down here, so I'm gonna run upstairs.
No worries. No worries.
As we talk.
Yeah. We don't want you to go.
Yeah, I don't want to bring off. But yeah, no, she lives in Wales in a different part of the country, and I love talking to her and connecting with her.
Different part of the world, right?
Yeah, yeah. But she also, if you see the things she posts, the things we have kind of a same kind of passion
Yeah.
for recovery. And she's
Yeah.
great. And she's single mom. She's got a cute accent. Her kid's super cute. Listen to him. Yeah, are you on the telly?
Yeah.
Anyway, I really
Yeah.
appreciate her help in providing. So it's just not all me. Everybody moves differently, right? And so, some things we all of our bodies are different. Not every single person is really fluid with all their movement or even connected to how they move.
Right.
And so I think watching the
Erin,
process.
could you come a little bit closer to the screen just so I can
Yes.
hear you? There you go. Perfect.
All right.
Yeah. So what were you saying? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh,
Everybody moves differently.
Started pouring down rain. Just watching the evolution of people learning about their bodies and how to move, and doing different things that they've never done before. It really does bring awareness to problematic areas or where they need to focus, and it's a very important thing. So going back to the program,
I was just the Victoria was really cool because she's a mom, and you can see just people in different parts of their lives, right? And so like somebody younger, somebody just different ages, right? And so it's really cool, and different parts of the world, right, as well. Like you said, she's in Wales, the UK.
Yes,
So
we're all
it's really cool
connected.
to see people, it works, right? The system works, and people just totally dedicated to the system.
Well, that's why TACFIT is worldwide. It's such a great system that it's expanding and growing. I mean, we're all connected, yes.
Yeah.
But so for the program, it's like, I don't want to say it's for beginners. I mean, I know that people that have been in TAC for a long time, they've been doing Into Flow or a Flow Fit and all the things. So it's not just for beginners. It's for a person that's new to movement, or a person that is an athlete that needs to be reminded of exactly what they need to be focusing on based on what they're doing. So one of the programs is like heavy lifting, or if you're a runner. So I think about how to create a program for people that have specific problematic areas or what they do in life. And so I think I don't know if there is a program like that out there, but I really do want to share the knowledge, and this is the 73 exercises that I created. I can continue. I can make 100 more different, sequences or flows with that. There's so much you can do with that, and I want to continue through this path, through TACFIT, through this program to advance and learn more and new things. I love doing and creating sequences from yoga, because I think about, okay, what's the focus, or what do we, just like you would structure a class if you're training, in the same way, that's what I think about when I do sequences, and how it connects, and how they each exercise transitions to the next smoothly. And that's just one thing I love to be creative with is the movement and the sequences of just mobility and the compensation and the both of them together.
Mhm.
So that's what I really love about what I do and about this program too. So it makes it
Awesome.
fun and interesting. It's not just boring, just just having a stretching. Like flow fit. I love flow fit. It is like a flow. There's active recovery, and you can burn some calories, and you can really like move your body in ways, and it challenges you. But you're also recovering, and you're also it's an active recovery day. It's
Yeah.
great. I love it.
It's super interesting, right? Because for me, I had so many, I'm not the most flexible guy still, but I'm pretty good. I'm super healthy. I can move
Yeah,
in all
see?
directions. I can do my flows now, right? But at the beginning, I mean, I couldn't reach back to even put my seatbelt on, right? Because everything just was so tight.
Right.
Yeah. And I remember at the beginning, and you see a lot of like bodybuilder guys, right? Strong guys, really strong guys in one plane of motion. And they start to do like these flows where you have to twist, you have to move around. And like, I remember for me, man, I had all these like crazy, like nervous system sweats. And my heart rate should be a lot lower. It should be a lower intensity day, right? It should be, right? If I'm, but because of my mobility issues, right? That motor amnesia that Scott calls it, right? Man, like my heart was like crazy at the beginning,
Mhm.
and you see
Yeah,
that too, right? With clients, with students, right?
moving through the
With
unknown, right?
mobility, right, right. They're not sure, your body's not sure, it doesn't remember, and so it goes into like fight or flight, right? When they go into those ranges of motions. But the
Yeah,
more you do it, where you're not going into pain or whatever, right? You train you train your brain, your central nervous system, right, to go into those ranges of motions, and then with that, you release tension, right? And then you're not so tight anymore. Your body knows where it's at, right? All the receptors in the body, right? Giving
yeah.
feedback to your brain where you are, and so
Trust
yeah.
me, I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, the guys coming in, big bodybuilders, are like, I'm gonna pick up a 30-pound steel mace. And then once they start moving through rotations or whatever, like, no, you need a 10-pound steel mace. Or they can lift like hundreds of pounds up and down, right? But as soon as you give them a body weight training protocol, like every minute or whatever it is, like any kind of body weight thing, like you can't even move your body through space and time without, like where you're saying, like your heart rate and like your nervous system is like, what is this? Something new. And I love that about just keeping your training, doing something different all the time and creating something new,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
doing the
I
same old
mean,
thing.
like I love to see those big guys, those big strong guys. Like there's Alessandro from Brazil. I'm gonna give him a shout out just because I love, he's such a strong guy. You can see he's like he can, bench and squat like a lot of weight, but he's all about the flow now. He totally like went all in
Awesome.
because it takes a lot of courage to like kind of keep doing something you're not good at, right? And then like for me, I know for me, it was like so hard. Like I remember when I first went to Barcelona with Nestor, and I'm supposed to be this and that jiu-jitsu champion guy, and I couldn't put my hands on the ground, and they laughed at me. It was for a flow fit, sir. They literally
Like,
laughed at me.
get
Like
down.
they were, they it was I could see them like, man, like because I know I couldn't do anything, and
It's
then
humbling. It humbles
yeah, super
you, right?
humbling. But I was like, man, this is exactly what I need. And so like because my heart rate would go high, like crazy high. And I just kept going into it, you have to have courage, right? And you have to like keep facing your fears. And then man, then you keep doing it and you keep showing up, right? And man, that's where the magic happens.
I
And
just
now
love.
like me, my friends, like a lot of my black belt friends who've been, doing the same movement patterns their whole life now, right? Man, they can't even train jiu-jitsu. So it's all about the flow for me, for my friend Alshanda, who had that open heart surgery. He's like a fifth degree black belt, like super good competitor when we were younger. But like, man, like we're all about those flows, just releasing tension. Even Elena, Elena Sawaya, the flow fit,
Yeah,
she's a firefighter at 40 years old, and she pretty much, her training consists of flows to like get connected to her body, to get to release tension in the body from stress,
right.
right? From not sleeping, from
Yeah. I remember
car,
when she picked up the soul mace and she loved it. Like she was like, teach me soul mace. She was like, wow, this is a whole new thing that I never understood before. She was
Mhm,
like, and very inspired and wanted to learn more because this is different
mhm,
and a different movement for her. But
mhm.
I admire her for sure. She's strong and flexible.
Yeah, Yeah, she lives it, right? And yeah, it's so cool because just body weight, right, is one thing, but then you start adding tools, but it's the same thing, right? Seven key components, 6 degrees of freedom, right? And so it's really cool because it's the same principles, right? From body weight to a club bell to a steel mace, right? To all the stuff. So it's really cool to see. Well, for me, to get into it, to be able to play around with all these different tools, and then you know perfect, but explore those different things with those different tools.
Right.
How did you first pick up a steel mace? What was your first memory, speaking of steel maces?
Well, well, it was from On It, from Black Swan Yoga, where I worked there for like 9 years. But
Yeah,
they gave me
the
On
Black
It
Swan
own
yoga.
Black Swan Yoga, whatever. But like I had like all these like free trainings. I'm like, I want to do all the things.
Okay.
I saw Isak, and I'm like, you know, I kind of resonated with the Still Mace. I don't know if bow staff in the running community, a fire staff. It's like a staff, a bow staff, but you light it on fire.
Okay, okay, okay,
So yeah, my husband, used to do bow staff and stuff, and that's kind of like the movement.
okay.
That, but it's different with weight. Obviously, you've seen people, twirl a baton, but like when you come to weight, it's more about activation. And
Mm-hmm.
what I loved about the Still Mace is like it reminded me of like I'm doing martial arts because I'm not listening to my headphones and just like lifting up and down and just mindlessly moving. I'm very intuitive and very mindful about the hand switches, the activation. There's so much to think about with the Still Mace. And I don't know, I was just drawn to it more than anything else, and drawn to Isak because I'm like, you're a freaking ninja, and I want
He's the guy who developed
to learn. I wanna,
he was the one who developed the steel mace program, right? When he
so
used
so much
TACFIT.
yoga, I love it so much because it is a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
So much yoga is one thing, and holding poses, and it's a lot of lower body. But there's not a lot you can do with upper body in yoga unless you're doing like full arm balances and handstands, which
Mm-hmm.
very rare people do. So it's almost like a upper body bandha activation to add into a mindful practice already. So and it's really challenging for me to teach people Still Mace yoga. I mean, they have a mace background, a yoga background. If they have neither, it's a lot to be able to actually teach a Still Mace yoga class, because not only you have the hand positions and the body weight positions, the inhales, the exhales, and going into deal. There's so much, so much talking. There's so much that needs to be explained in this practice. So I really give people props that they're inspired by that. It is challenging. I mean, guys, I've seen guys, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a 15, 20 pounds for Still Mace yoga. No, you're moving slowly, and the push and pulls and activations. That's what really challenges people too, is when people speed up and they're, they're kind of like spazzing out. If you slow anything down, especially down to the 3, 4, 5 second count of the pull and pushes parts of holding it, that is going to challenge anybody, especially men. And I love that men are more into Still Mace yoga because it's like warrior yoga. It does bring a masculine aspect to it as well. It's like, but yeah. So um, with the Still Mace, it was just my thing. This is like, and all I did was train Still Mace body weight with Isak, and of course he taught me all the fun stuff, nunchucks, boxing, and bow staff, and all that. But Still Mace is always is my passion. It's my heart.
Cool.
Thing I
It's
always
a,
look.
it's like full, like you're totally in the moment, right? You can't be thinking about anything
Great.
else. It's like meditation, right?
It is mindful movement. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, there is a difference between having discipline and the kind of training that you're doing, like progressions, the reason why of like, the whole point of whatever the exercise is, there has to be a focus and a point,
Mm,
right? And there has to be progressions and regressions, because not everybody's going to be able to do it, right?
mhm.
Versus like, and I think the whole thing with the Soul Mace and flow just kind of got lost of like, oh, just do whatever you feel. And, that's one thing for like, entertainment or dancing or whatever. But I really just love with Viking Ninja, like I like being disciplined, challenge or disciplined, right? And I think that's exactly also what TACFIT is also. And challenge your discipline to take care of your body and recover as well. That is a challenge that you will learn either way. You'll learn that it helps you and benefits you in life for longevity of life, or you will see that you'll break down, and then it's going to take you a long time to heal from that. So
Yeah.
so my passion about, I loved biking ninja, but it just kind of my path leaded into more of recovery now. So Soulmate Yoga is not just recovery, but it has a big aspect to it. Active recovery is part of it. Body weight is a part of it. Because if you don't know active recovery and body weight, you can't just like give somebody a still mace and be like, here, hold this pose and do this thing. There's a progression, and there's a system behind it, and there's a discipline behind it. And so same thing, with TACFIT system, Soulmate Yoga, Viking Ninja, all of it kind of combined. And we have that recovery program, put into our every week, our training. And I think that's amazing. That's great. And not a lot of people do that. And some people stole it and changed it and did other things with it. But you guys are kind of been like, the root from that, Scott Sonnen. He's
yeah. It's cool to see him with holding his stone mace, doing some squat switches, and some,
I would love to work out with him with the still mace, or challenge you. I would love to challenge you to do still mace yoga.
I'm in.
All right, we're gonna do it.
Time. When's the next cert?
So the next cert is going to be in September.
Okay.
Yeah. In September, and there's a lot of people that are just waiting for the next one.
Nice.
But so I'm also building the brand of Soulmate Yoga in Austin. I found this really cool new venue. So I'm doing like kind of yoga jams with like, it's body weight yoga, but it's like Soulmate Yoga style, where it's like challenging. It's like it's workout yoga kind of like and then with a live DJ, and then that's going to be up to bring people. Okay, well, next time on Saturday we're going to have still maces, and you can level up if you want to take it to the next level. But
that's cool.
Yeah. So going back
to try different things. It's cool. It's good. Yeah.
The recovery program, man, it's just I'm very happy to have the opportunity to make something like that. And I'm glad that Victoria also joined in to help me to create that. And looking back, I'm like, there's so much more I could do, and so many other things but this is a good basis for anybody, any kind of person, whether you're beginning to movement or not a great mover, or you have been in TACFIT for a very long time, maybe have a little bit of different spin on the way I create my sequences and things, I think I just have a little bit of something different to offer.
It's one of the things I really appreciate about our Legion, our community, our TACFIT community. It's like people have a different takes, and like, for example, Robert Miller was here. He does things a certain way. TACFIT team leader Juan David Nestor, just amazing people, right, all around the world, and ESIC, of course, and they communicate things a different way. And then, now I get it. Now you know what I mean? You learn from these different people. And I know martial arts, so it's like it's all about coming together, right? And sharing the knowledge. That's why I used to really enjoy going to all the certs before the pandemic, because you could get together with all these like TACFIT team leaders and just high level people and exchange information, right?
For sure. And you resonate with certain people, like I built a whole community of people that just wanted to come to just my class in yoga or whatever, and there's not a lot of, we need more women in TACFIT also,
Yes.
But also for a woman to be able to deliver recovery in a different way. I feel like women, just based on my experience of doing massage, like women are a lot more in tune with their bodies and, emotionally, and that's just the way that we are wired or whatever, but like for how to have a woman to deliver it in the way that I do, I don't know. I just have so much but inspiration. But yeah, like I said, I wish I could be a biking ninja, all that. I can't do everything, so my path is now Soulmate Yoga and recovery with TACFIT. So I love being that person to the no and lows, and I want to teach the guys. Like I want to
Yeah.
teach other people to be able to teach that because it is part of our system.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did put all my heart and soul into making all the videos, the 170 videos that I did make.
How long
And
did it take you? Because we had our meetings and you're like, oh, I shot all
I don't
weekend.
know because I had to like, break all this down and make it like a whole set, and I mean, it took me several weeks. I think I had my gym just all dismantled for about a month, but I was, and some of you've probably seen some of the videos. I'm like tired, like, working, staying up late and doing them, and having a goal of how many I'm going to do. I'm like, man, this is a lot of exercises, and to have a demo and an instructional video for every single one, and then a program for the nine different categories. I loved doing it though, and I know that if I put all my heart and soul and passion into making something like this, then of course it's going to sell. Of course, people are going to take so much away from it,
Yeah.
and they can learn to do it on their own, whether they just do the sequences I do or they just look at the demo and instructional videos, because I separated everything. This is neck, thoracic spine, shoulders, hips, everything's like separated into different parts of the body for the demo instructionals, and then all the separate ways of like what kind of lifestyle you live, or what kind of problematic areas in your body. These are the exercises that you should do every day.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
So if you have lower back pain, you have some exercises organized like that. Neck
yeah, I
pain.
mean, yeah, specifically lower back pain and shoulders. A lot of people like, it's like they have my shoulders or their hips. Hips, hips and hamstrings, really they do eventually, they create lower back pain. But I do have one just for just hips and hamstrings, or just your hips, just for your lower back pain, for your shoulders, for people that stand all day long, people that are runners. Um, um, Obviously, like I think majority of the population sit at computers or sit at the car, and
Yeah. Way
so
too
that's a big
much.
one. And it'll be programmed, and you can, you can just go through them all as well. It doesn't have to. You don't have to just do one program. Because you are going to have different things that go on in life, and the pain will change and move around create um, once you create freedom and movement in one part of the area of your body. It's going to travel to, you're going to work on the next thing that's in line, the next thing that's connected to it. So, but again, I want to continue with all the exercises I did videos on of, I could probably create 100 more different sequences of those 73 exercises. So
It's more than like just it's a lifestyle, right? We have to always keep moving, don't you think? With
obviously,
to you talk about the traumas and tension, right? It goes from one place to another place, depending what happened, how we think. Trauma, like I know my knees, they get really tight, so just I have to maintain, I have to basically do all my into
right?
flow and TACFIT like every single day.
Yep. And
Or
there's
else
some
I
that
have issues.
I'm like, I get sick for a couple days. I'm like kind of in bed. I'm like, man, everything starts to hurt. I'm like, oh man, I have hip pain. But like, yeah, once I just continuously move and move and keep moving my body through motion, I don't feel stiff, and it's not locked in. And
Right.
so I hear that with everybody. They're like, oh, once I stop going to the gym, or once I stop, doing what I normally do, like things lock up and you have pain that you don't usually have. You're stiff.
Yeah. Yeah. And people, like they said, they go on vacation, right? They go on vacation, they think they're gonna maybe do stuff while they're on vacation, but they don't. And they come back like after a week or whatever, maybe even 2 weeks, completely wrecked, right? From the
Yep.
vacation, from
Yeah.
eating too much and maybe drinking and much
Yeah,
stuff,
for
but just not
sure.
moving, right? Not
It
moving.
is a balance, somebody said it's not more balance, it's like harmony, harmonizing everything together, I like that. But yeah,
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I think all your flows and stuff, everything that I'm hearing, right? It's like what I think about is balance, because you flex, you're doing certain movements, and you're like, okay, I get these guys, I get these guys who deadlift, I get these, the patterns that we do, and it's bringing balance, right? So it's we sit down, our hip flexors are really tight, so let's open those up, right, and decompress all those release the tension in those areas that's short, right? That's flex, that doesn't turn off. So,
Right.
so, you know, we're not pulling on something else like our lower back or some other area, sensitive area.
As the more we move, the more we're just more aware of our bodies, or every experience that we have, we learn and gain from. Every movement that we have, and what is it like? Our cells change every 7 years. We're different. Like
Yeah, all our cells, we have new cells, right? We're a completely new
yeah,
person.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm saying Soulmate Yoga. That's is also like a complete system as well. Like, you know, um, you know, it is kind of weight training because I do have a training, and then there's the power sequencing of the using the weight and pushing pulling, but like definitely it's I've integrated flow fit and into flow and compensation into the whole Stillmace Yoga dynamic of the brand that I built is
Yeah,
based on everything I've learned from you guys and previously with yoga. I don't know, it
yeah,
makes
it's
sense.
awesome.
What we all do is make sense, and that's why we look so young, we move so well, and we continue to um, live a life of longevity.
Nice. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Be our best at every age, right?
Was that?
Be our best at every age.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, for sure. But Isak, Isak has definitely been a big inspiration with that. But he moves so well, and so he's gonna always have that movement. We all are. I'm not just saying Isak, but like
As long as we keep doing
um,
it, right? As long as we keep moving like this in these ways, right? We're gonna stay
exactly.
healthy.
And
That's it.
so that's what the program is about, is for you guys to learn how to move your body, what you need to focus on, like how to do it on your own, how to learn these exercises and be able to be aware, like, oh man, my neck is tense this way, and and it leads into my shoulders, and I can learn this mobility exercise and these stretches from just watching the videos that I have, the 73 different exercises that are
Yeah.
available.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with the program, and
Awesome.
I hope just to continue putting more content and creating more of.
That's it. Awesome. Yeah, it's new, right? It's new and our brain needs newness, right? So I appreciate you putting all the work
Yeah,
into
it's
this
a
this
little
new life into
little Erin Furry flare, Fury
yeah.
flare.
Would you say furry or
Well,
fury?
it depends. It depends because I do have like in massage, I have like but I have the fury fingers and elbows, and my furiness of a still mace, but then also like the furry of like being soft and being able to stretch and do mobile. I don't know. It's like two alter egos. So you guys can call me either way, but don't make me drop the R. The fury's coming out. No, fury is in a good way. Fury is more of like discipline, fire, and you know.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, what do you like somebody new, right? How do you recommend for them to start? Where do you recommend for them to start? How to begin? TACFIT.
Somebody's new to move in TACFIT
Yes.
in general.
Hmm.
Well, body weight, obviously. You start with body weight, but not just body weight. You start with flow. You start moving your joints and learning and learning about your body, maybe where you have tension or injuries or whatever, because people really need to know how to be able to squat or lunge, or you need to, you know, when you train somebody for the first time, you have to kind of put them in, watch them move in certain ways just through their body weight to understand what's going on in their body, to be able to know how to train them. And that's what I love about Isak, is like I can massage somebody, but he can do the same kind of thing just by what me too, but like through movement. So yeah, so definitely with flow, with mobility exercises, and then body weight training. Body weight training. There's so much you can gain from body weight training. It's so humbling. I'm all the people that I train and we're doing body weight. Like you see people struggle the most. It's you against yourself. It's just your own body. But I see people struggle so much just with moving their own body. So
That's me. That's me.
so yeah, that's exactly where you would start, exactly where you start. Just so you learn what you can do and what you can't do.
Yeah.
Just like with still mace yoga, people are like, oh, I thought we are doing still mace today. I'm like, well, you have to learn body weight. You have to learn how to be how to like have a foundation and be strong and have stability before you just put a weight in there and start moving around all
Yeah.
crazy, So there is progressions. So
Yeah.
That's how I would say, you know.
That's great. I think so too. You know, what's it called? Action potential, where you use something, you know, for example, like a clubbell or a kettlebell or whatever, and it helps you kind of learn that movement better, right? Because you have some more maybe feedback for your brain and for your body, right?
Right.
So how do you just from your experience with working with the steel mace for all these years, how have you seen that, you know, or do you not, you know, you maybe start if of course we have regressions and progressions, right? So instead of doing all the battle lunges, whatever, but you start with this with the switch squat or
Oh no,
something more
yeah.
simple,
Well,
right?
not even a switch, you know.
Okay.
Now I'm like, I mean, not even like learning all the fun. Everybody wants to do all the cool stuff first, you know. But
Right,
like,
right,
you have
right.
to have a foundation, and like what I love, like music taught me, you have to earn.
Mm,
You have to earn and build your way up to being able to do a 360. You know, you have
mhm,
to work for that. But I mean, before you even start doing switches, it's just like holding soulmates, pulling it apart, and then doing
mm.
squats. You know, and next thing is learning the switches. You know, and I love training new people with the still mace because there's so much to do. But you make them work from foundation, going slow, and work their way up to doing what they think is a cool look or what they want, their highest ideal or goal of where they want. But yeah, you have to start from the bottom and work your way up, you know. But with
Earn
so
every step.
you have to start. I started with a 7 pound mace. I was like, I don't know what Isak calls it. He's like skinny chubby or something. I don't know what it was. I was definitely just, I was skinny, but like, you know, just I don't know, chubby skinny. I don't know. But yeah, so I had to start with a 7 pound maze. I couldn't swing a 7 pound maze, but slowly and slowly I built up over several years to even just getting to a 15 pound maze. And I train that. And sometimes I go back to a 10 pound maze because I know my body, I don't want to push myself over the limit and, hurt my body. You have to kill the ego of listening to your body and being like, because it's always in communication. Your body is always communicating with you, is whether you choose to listen or not, or whether your ego gets in the way, or like we're competing in, that heavier weight or the harder thing, like it takes a lot for a lot of people to be able to take a step back and be like, okay, I have an active recovery day. And I tell people, don't come get a massage for me and then just go work out and ruin the whole thing. Like, how about like a recovery day? Like, treat yourself. But yeah, it is regression, and you really need to like work your way up eventually. And then it's just the discipline of it. And just like in martial arts, I mean, jujitsu, I don't even do jujitsu, but I respect people that do it so much because it's just like a whole lifetime you'll still not have learned everything there is to know about jujitsu. It's like continuously like mind blowing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
one of the things, right, is for me that I wish I would have, I still that's wrapping my head around is the recovery, right? Like you don't think as recovery as you're training, and that's why it's so beautiful with the TACFIT system and the way we do things is that we have the waves, right? And so like you don't have to be 100%, but you have to keep that in mind, right? Of how you train. Like, man, me going hard every day is not sustainable, you know. People take performance enhancing and different things, right, to kind of keep that maintaining, but it's not natural, right? It's not the optimal way, and you can do less with more as well. Do you
Yeah.
agree with that?
And you can still challenge yourself. Like I did a compensation class for Warrior Weekend, and we only did 10 minutes of this compensation, and we were drenched in sweat. I burned so many calories just from that. And it was a compensation sequence and a flow, and it was a program, and it challenged us in different ways. So it's not like who can lift the most weights or how hard you can go or how sore you can get. It's like you can also challenge yourself in so many other different ways through compensation, through the flows, you know. How
Yeah,
can you
yeah,
be
for
how can
sure,
you be better at all the things? How can you challenge yourself in a new and different way?
for sure, for sure. Yeah, but we want to give a shout out to anybody.
Well, I mean, of course, my number one fan. When I'm at Isak, I was like, teach me everything, all the things that you are a Viking and a ninja. He literally is, and I want to know. And so, but like he wouldn't even give me a time of day unless I showed up to class and I put 110%. He didn't even notice me. He didn't even like. And so I wanted to get his attention of being like, I'm really, I want to learn what you learn, and I'm disciplined, and I want to do everything to have that with you. And he finally took me under his wing, and you know, made me work hard, and he wrote me down and built me up. And he's taught me so much, and I still have so much to learn, just like he has with Scott Sonnen. He has the same kind of relationship with him and Scott Sonnen. I give, a shout out to him for sure, because he's taught me so much. But and just you guys, the TACFIT team. I love being part of the family and being part of what you guys, the whole your whole system, because when I was on it, I didn't realize that what I was learning from on it was really kind of stem from TACFIT, right?
Rebranded, kind of, right?
It stemmed from it, but learning where all of E6 roots were. And then I'm not putting down anything, all the things that led me up to this point. I appreciate all the people and the teachers and the, yoga and all the things that led me to this point. But I really do appreciate you guys, every one of you that want to better yourselves. But I do respect and appreciate you for bringing me in and allowing Soulmate Yoga to be part of the program or part of the system, because it is very in line with everything we do. Viking Ninja, TACFIT, and Soulmate Yoga are just, it's a great triangle. It was but to my friends, but my husband especially too, because he's been on this journey he's followed me. He's learned all the things from me. He knew he can tell you he could teach a compensation class or mobility. He started training people based on what he's learned from me and ESIC. He was a big follower of ESIC as well. But
is he a trainer as well?
He's not a trainer, no, but he trained some of our friends in our gym here. He knows how to hold pads for boxing now because of ESIC and me doing it. Like, he's great. So we connect in that way, but that's not what he does for a living. It's awesome. A talent. But
it's a lifestyle, right? For the whole family, for everybody. For sure.
Yep, it is. And it's great when your partner is with you on it, because when you go in different directions, people change in different ways, But we've been together, it's 14 years going strong. So I really do, appreciate his support. And all my people that follow me on, with my Soulmate Yoga, I appreciate you guys for being dedicated to a system that I created and I love. So I really just hope to build a brand through you guys, and to spread it just like TACFIT worldwide. Soulmate Yoga worldwide.
How can people find you?
So I live in Austin, Texas, to find me there, but no. My name is Erin Furry, ERINFURRY.
On Instagram.
I also have a Soulmate Yoga account on Instagram. I also run the Viking Ninja women's page. So for all you ladies out there that want to be, want a Viking Ninja up, I would love to work with you. You guys reach me out for that. Same thing with Facebook. Erin Furry and Soulmate Yoga are there as well. Yeah, but go through phases where I post a lot every day. I do so many videos every single week for the TACFIT app that I'm like, I should take an extra 5 minutes to do video content for Instagram, or take some of those and put it in Instagram. So I go back and forth, but you will definitely be seeing me posting about this certification and this new launch of this program, which is coming up next week. And I think it will be on sale for a little while, right? When we first launch it.
Yes, I think so.
But also you'll have it available on the TACFIT app. So I don't know if you guys know about the TACFIT app, but it's pretty awesome because there's 3 different choices. Even if $9.99 a month, you get to see all the coach classes every single day. I think I'm on week 44. I've done 44 weeks of Soulmate Yoga, no and low intensities, for Club Bell and Viking Ninja on there. And so you guys is continuous content. And if you have the highest level, you have access to every single program that we have in TACFIT that's ever been made. And for the launch of the recovery program, it's already there. You get it
free to
get
move
it before anybody else does. You get it
right.
before anybody else does, before the product's even launched. And it's literally, I think the highest one is $24.99 a month, and that's just so worth it based on having all the access to everything. What? That's just mind blowing, because it's just so much. There's so many different programs, so many things. So it's just so worth it. Anyways, not trying to sell it, but I am, because it's it's just a good deal, and there's just a lot of great content and amazing teachers that we have. So
for sure.
for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you, Coach Aaron. Appreciate you, and looking forward to watching. I haven't seen it yet, even though I have access. I just never get to the program, all inclusive subscription. But I'm looking forward to doing the Free to Move for Life program. I love new stuff.
Yeah,
I
so
love
give me a little
Interflow. I
bit.
love FlowFit. So I'm really looking forward to
It's like,
seeing
yeah,
how your take on it. How you do
exactly.
it.
The
Really
Erin
looking
Furry
forward to
style.
that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you so much. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm glad. But yeah, I'd love to hear any feedback. You guys set me up anytime you need, have any questions on anything with recovery. I'd love to help.
Great.
So
Thank you. Thank you so much.
thank you guys so much for joining. Thanks for listening. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you guys. See you next time.
See you soon. Bye.